So back in 2020, before the release of the now current gen consoles, the Xbox series of consoles and the PlayStation 5, Microsoft was clear and concise with their message. They basically told everyone that even though the new systems were on the way, all of the games that they would make that are exclusive games would be available on the Xbox One platform as well. And when they made this announcement, the PlayStation fanboys were screaming from the rafters. They were basically saying that because the games will also have to run on the older Xbox platform, that the games wouldn't see their full potential and will be dumbed down. And at the same time last year, Sony was toting that all of their exclusive games would be exclusive to PlayStation 5 when they first showed Horizon, when they talked about God of War, and also even Gran Tourismo that had a trailer. If you look back at the trailer a year ago, at the bottom left hand corner under the title Gran Turismo 7, you will also see where it said a PlayStation 5 exclusive, which also made the PlayStation fanboys scream from the rafters for a second time, because they felt as if they had proof saying that you will no longer need your PlayStation 4 and that the new games that are coming out will be built from the ground up and be PS5 only. And to add to that fire, in May of 2020, Jim Ryan said, and I quote, "We have always said that we believe in generations. We believe that when you go to all the trouble of creating the next generation console, that it should include features and benefits that the previous generation does not include, and that in our view, people should make games that can make most out of these features." And the verbiage that was used insinuated that a lot of the new upcoming games will only be available on the PlayStation 5, which send the Sony fanboys to the moon like Elon Musk and Doge. But to me, it didn't make much business sense, because if they only develop the new God of War for the new PlayStation 5, they will be leaving 100 million potential customers on the table with the PlayStation 4, being that we're in a pandemic or exiting the pandemic at this time, still being a chip shortage, still ultra hard to get a PlayStation 5. To this point, it's only about 8 million PlayStation 5s in the wild versus 115 million PS4s in the wild. It just didn't add up. And this is why Microsoft has been saying from the get-go that they plan to release their marquee franchises for at least 2 years on the previous platform and then gradually try to shift their user base over to the new platforms. There would be no reason to leave the current fan base of 50 million Xbox owners in the dust because they don't have an Xbox Series X or S, which is also hard to locate at this time. I mean, now I think there's about 4 to 5 million Xbox Series X or S consoles that have been sold at this time. So they would be losing a potential 50 million customers if they only develop for the new consoles as well. Now fast forward to a couple of weeks ago, Jim Ryan changed his tone. He said, and I quote, "We do feel that we have a responsibility to that very large community and the opportunity to carry on making great PS4 games for as long as they need to be there. And I think that this is the right thing to do. It's the rational thing to do. And I think you will see a tale with the PS4 that we did not see with the PS3. But with that said, as time passes, you're going to see more and more emphasis on PS5 development and the PS5 SKU." And what he's referring to is now we know that Horizon Forbidden West, as well as God of War, as well as the new Gran Turismo 7 will all be present on the PlayStation 4. And right now, I don't hear no screaming from the Raptors. All I hear is... Now, with that said, the PlayStation fanboys and the Xbox fanboys are now in the same boat. What a lot of PlayStation loyalists don't understand is that this is a business, and it just makes business sense to have your game in many places as possible, so that way you can make revenue. Especially, like I stated a few moments earlier in this video, it's still very hard to acquire a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox or Xbox Series S console at this time. So it only makes sense. So does that mean that PlayStation 5 version of God of War won't look amazing versus the PlayStation 4 version? Does that mean that the next Gran Turismo 7 PlayStation 5 version won't look amazing as in comparison to the PlayStation 4 version? No, it doesn't mean that. What people fail to realize is that games are developed with the highest common denominator in mind. So they develop for the highest possible specs, and then they scale the game down to work on less capable platforms. And PC gamers understand this because PC games have been scaling since the beginning of time. Every PC is not created equal, so the games are built to run and incorporate the highest settings of the most powerful computer, as well as be able to run smoothly on a less capable machine. So my question is, how do the Sony ponies feel now that they're in the same shoes as a so-called Xbox? And for me, I think it's good because it gives everybody an opportunity to enjoy these experiences in which they may not if they couldn't find a PlayStation 5, or maybe they can't afford a PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4 is all that they have. So this gives them access to play these new great experiences along with us and join these conversations and this wonderful world of gaming. So let me know how you feel about this. Do you think that Sony made the right decision in allowing these games to also be available on the PS4, or do you think that these games should strictly and only be available on the PlayStation 5? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, like, share with a friend, subscribe. Remember, play games, not brands. I'm gone.